Have you ever wondered why you wake up feeling more tired than when you went to bed, despite getting what should be enough sleep? Picture this. You're sitting at your kitchen table, looking at the morning light streaming through the window, and you realize that the person staring back at you in the reflection isn't the vibrant soul you feel inside. Your body aches in places it never used to. Your energy feels like it's trapped behind a thick fog, and you find yourself reaching for that third cup of coffee before noon, hoping it will somehow bring back the vitality you once took for granted. Here's the truth that most of us over 60 don't want to admit. We've accepted feeling okay as our new normal, when deep down we remember what it felt like to feel truly alive. We've been told that slowing down, constant fatigue, and those nagging aches and pains are just part of getting older. But what if I told you that sitting right there in your spice cabinet is something so powerful that it could start transforming how you feel in just 7 days? Something that your grandmother probably knew about, but somehow we forgot along the way. In the next few minutes, I'm going to show you exactly what happens to your body day by day when you eat just 2 cloves every single day for 1 week. You'll discover why this tiny spice that costs pennies can do what expensive supplements promise but rarely deliver, and how 7 days from now, you could be looking at that same reflection in the window with completely different eyes. Number 1. Introduction to the power of cloves. What if the very thing that could restore your vitality has been sitting quietly in your kitchen spice rack, overlooked and forgotten? For too many of us, the morning routine has become a ritual of compromise. We reach for prescription bottles instead of reaching for hope. We've accepted that feeling half alive is just part of growing older, that the spark we once carried has dimmed forever. But here's something they don't want you to know. While pharmaceutical companies spend billions convincing you that wellness comes in expensive packages, scientists have been quietly studying something extraordinary. Those small, dark cloves that your grandmother used in her holiday cooking contain a compound called eugenol that can literally wake up your body's healing systems. In just 7 days, 2 simple cloves can trigger changes that expensive supplements promise but rarely deliver. The challenge isn't that natural healing doesn't work. The challenge is that we've been taught to look everywhere except the most obvious places. We've been conditioned to believe that if it's simple and affordable, it can't possibly be powerful. Yet here's the turning point. Your body doesn't care how much money you spend on healing. It only cares about receiving what it needs to repair, restore, and regenerate. When you eat 2 cloves daily, you're not just adding flavor to your day. You're activating ancient healing pathways that have been waiting patiently for the right signal. But here's the crucial part. How you prepare and consume them makes all the difference between transformation and disappointment. The wrong approach can waste this opportunity entirely, while the right method can unlock benefits that compound with each passing day. Your journey toward feeling truly alive again doesn't require a prescription or a doctor's appointment. It requires understanding that sometimes the most profound healing comes in the smallest, most humble packages. Number 2. Composition, preparation, and storage. Picture opening a small jar and releasing an aroma so rich and warm that it instantly transports you back to your childhood kitchen during the holidays. That scent you're remembering isn't just nostalgia. It's the smell of one of nature's most concentrated healing compounds, working its way into your senses. Most of us have been doing this wrong our entire lives. We buy ground cloves that have been sitting on store shelves for months, losing their potency with each passing day. We store them carelessly, letting light and heat steal away the very compounds that could change our lives. It's like trying to start a fire with wet matches and wondering why nothing ignites. The secret lies in understanding that fresh, whole cloves contain up to 90% eugenol, along with powerful partners like eugenol acetate and gallic acid. These aren't just fancy names. They're your body's allies in the fight against inflammation, pain, and the slow decline that nobody talks about but everyone fears. When you grind cloves weeks or months before using them, you're essentially throwing away this concentrated healing power. Here's what changes everything. Buy whole, organic cloves from a trusted source. Feel their weight in your palm. Notice how they're firm and aromatic when they're fresh. Store them in a dark, airtight container away from your stove's heat. When you're ready to use them, 2 whole cloves provide exactly the right amount of eugenol for your body to begin its healing work, without overwhelming your system. This isn't about perfection. It's about giving yourself the best possible chance to feel the difference that quality makes. Because when you respect the process rewards you with results you can actually feel. Number 3, daily progression of therapeutic effects. Imagine your body as a house that's been running on emergency power for years, and suddenly someone throws the main breaker back on. That's what happens on day 1 when eugenol floods your system, immediately going to work on the cellular damage that's been accumulating silently for decades. By day 2, something remarkable begins. Your immune system, which may have felt sluggish and unreliable, starts responding like it remembers what it was designed to do. The compounds in cloves don't just support your defenses. They actively hunt down the bacteria, viruses, and fungi that have been quietly undermining your health. You might not feel it yet, but the battle for your wellness has begun in earnest. Day 3 brings a shift that many people notice first. Your blood sugar levels start stabilizing. That afternoon energy crash that you've accepted as inevitable begins to soften. Your mind feels clearer, less foggy. Food cravings that seemed impossible to control start loosening their grip. This is your metabolism remembering how to work efficiently again. By day 4, your liver, that tireless worker that's been processing decades of toxins and stress, finally gets the support it's been craving. Eugenol acts like a protective shield, allowing your liver cells to repair and regenerate. You might notice your complexion improving, your digestion becoming more comfortable. Days 5 and 6 reveal the deeper healing. Your cardiovascular system begins to respond. Inflammation in your arteries decreases. Your circulation improves. Blood pressure naturally starts to normalize. Even more profound, your body begins activating its own anti-cancer defenses, particularly protecting your digestive system. By day 7, the pain relief becomes undeniable. Joints that have ached for years start feeling different. Muscle tension that you've carried like an unwelcome companion begins to ease. This is your body saying thank you for finally giving it what it needed to heal itself. Number 4, precautions and adverse effects. Here's a truth that might make you uncomfortable. Even the most healing substance can become harmful when we let enthusiasm override wisdom. Too many people think that if 2 cloves are good, 4 or 6 must be better. This kind of thinking can turn a blessing into a burden. Your body has limits, and respecting those limits is how you honor the healing process. When you exceed the recommended dose of 2 cloves daily, you're not accelerating your healing. You're potentially creating new problems. Your stomach might rebel with irritation or nausea. Your liver, which you're trying to support, could become overwhelmed. If you're taking blood-thinning medications, too much eugenol could interfere with your body's ability to clot properly. The turning point comes when you realize that healing isn't about forcing change. It's about creating the right conditions for your body to restore itself naturally. This means understanding that pregnant and nursing mothers need to avoid cloves entirely, as eugenol can affect developing babies. It means recognizing that children's bodies process compounds differently than adult bodies. It means being honest about conditions like acid reflux that could be worsened by clove consumption. Most importantly, never consume clove essential oil directly. The concentrated oil that seems like it would provide faster results can actually cause serious harm to your mouth, throat, and digestive system. The whole clove is nature's perfect delivery system, providing the right concentration in the right form. Your safety isn't separate from your healing. It's the foundation that makes real, lasting healing possible. When you approach this practice with respect and wisdom, you create space for transformation without risk. Number 5. Consumption recommendations and habits. There's something deeply satisfying about creating a morning ritual that nourishes both your body and your spirit. Imagine starting each day not with the hurried gulp of coffee and handful of pills, but with a mindful moment that connects you to centuries of natural healing wisdom. The most effective way to consume your 2 cloves is surprisingly simple, yet most people complicate it unnecessarily. After breakfast, when your stomach has food to buffer the intensity, take 2 whole cloves and chew them slowly. Yes, the flavor is strong, almost overwhelming at first, but within days, your palate adjusts, and you might find yourself looking forward to this bold, warming taste that signals the beginning of your body's daily renewal. If chewing whole cloves feels too intense, you have gentle alternatives that don't sacrifice effectiveness. Mix your 2 cloves with a teaspoon of raw honey, allowing the sweetness to balance the intensity. Or steep them in warm tea for 10 minutes, creating a soothing drink that carries the healing compounds in a more comfortable form. The key is consistency, not perfection. Your body responds to regular, sustained signals, not sporadic, intense doses. Choose the method that feels most natural to you, the one you can imagine doing every single day without it feeling like a chore or a punishment. Remember to increase your water intake during this week. Your body needs extra hydration to process these powerful compounds effectively. Consider adding green tea to your routine, as its antioxidants work beautifully alongside cloves' healing properties. This isn't about adding another task to your already full day. This is about replacing worry with action, replacing resignation with hope, and giving your body a daily reminder that healing is not only possible but inevitable when you provide the right support. Number 6. Synergy and personalized monitoring. Your body is not a machine that responds identically to everyone else's. It's a unique ecosystem with its own rhythms, needs, and responses. This is why the most successful healing journeys are the ones that honor your individual experience while building on proven principles. Consider enhancing your clove practice with complementary spices that amplify the benefits. A small piece of cinnamon bark with your cloves can help stabilize blood sugar even more effectively. A slice of fresh ginger can boost digestive comfort and reduce inflammation throughout your body. A tiny pinch of black pepper can actually help your body absorb and utilize eugenol more completely. But here's where many people miss the most important part of this journey: paying attention to how your unique body responds. Start a simple journal, nothing complicated or time-consuming. Each morning, note how you slept. Each afternoon, notice your energy level. Each evening, check in with your digestion, your mood, your overall sense of well-being. This isn't about obsessing over every tiny change. It's about developing a conversation with your body, learning to recognize the subtle signals that indicate healing is happening. Maybe you notice you're sleeping more deeply by day 3. Perhaps your afternoon energy slump disappears by day 5. You might find that chronic digestive discomfort starts improving by day 6. These observations aren't just interesting. They're valuable information that helps you understand whether this practice is working for your unique system and how you might adjust it for even better results. Some people find that taking cloves with breakfast works better than after. Others discover that splitting the dose between morning and evening gives them more sustained benefits. Your healing journey is as individual as your fingerprint, and honoring that individuality is how you create lasting transformation rather than temporary change. Number 7. Holistic approach and sustained effects. The most beautiful thing about true healing is that it never happens in isolation. When you commit to eating 2 cloves daily for a week, you're not just adding a supplement to an unchanged life. You're opening a door to rediscovering what it feels like to work with your body instead of against it. This 7-day journey is really a beginning, not an ending. The changes you'll experience in your first week are just the foundation of what becomes possible when you embrace a truly holistic approach to your health. The cloves work best when they're part of a life that includes gentle movement that makes you feel alive rather than exhausted. They're most effective when combined with foods that nourish rather than inflame, with sleep that truly restores rather than just passes time. By day 7, many people report something that goes beyond the physical improvements. They describe feeling more like themselves again, more optimistic, more engaged with life. This isn't just the eugenol working. This is what happens when you take back agency over your own health and well-being. The real magic happens in week 2, week 3, and beyond. The antioxidant protection becomes more robust. The immune support grows stronger. The cardiovascular benefits deepen. The pain relief becomes more comprehensive. Your body learns to trust that this support will continue, and it begins making deeper repairs that are only possible with sustained, consistent care. But perhaps most importantly, you learn something invaluable about your own capacity for healing. You discover that feeling vibrant and alive isn't something that belongs only to younger people or luckier people. It belongs to anyone willing to provide their body with what it needs to thrive. This isn't the end of your journey toward better health. This is the beginning of understanding that real healing happens not through dramatic interventions, but through simple, consistent acts of self-care that honor the wisdom your body carries and the life you still have to live. 7 days, 2 small cloves, a transformation that reminds you of something you may have forgotten. Your body still wants to heal, still remembers how to be vibrant, still responds when you give it what it truly needs. What we've shared today isn't complicated medicine or expensive treatments. It's kitchen wisdom that connects you to generations of people who understood that healing often comes in the humblest forms. When you choose to eat 2 cloves daily, you're not just adding a spice to your routine. You're choosing to believe in your body's capacity for renewal, even now, even at this stage of life. The benefits we've explored, from stronger immunity to reduced pain, from better circulation to clearer thinking, these aren't promises for someday. They're possibilities that can begin tomorrow morning in your own kitchen. You have everything you need already. The power to improve how you feel doesn't require anyone's permission or approval. It requires only your willingness to try. Think about this for a moment. In a world that often makes us feel powerless over our health, how empowering is it to know that something so simple could make such a difference? You're not too old to feel better. You're not past the point where positive change is possible. Every day you wake up is another opportunity to support the only body you'll ever have. Which part of today's information spoke to you most deeply? Was it the promise of better sleep, reduced pain, or simply the hope that feeling truly well is still within reach? If this resonates with you, please share it with someone who needs to hear that healing is possible at any age. Your comment about your own experience could be exactly what another person needs to take that first step. Tomorrow, I'll be sharing another simple practice that could change how you experience your days. Until then, remember, your best years don't have to be behind you.